Olympia Mill School, Olympia High School, Olympia Middle School, and now the Olympia Learning Center. These are all names for an educational institution with a mission that spans more than 100 years. Hi, I'm Dondi Mercer-Plank inside the Olympia Museum Annex. Welcome to this opportunity to learn more about the history of Olympia School. The school remains an important component of Olympia Mill Village, and it provides a touchstone for the heritage of people with connections to their Mill Village past. In the early 1900s, the textile industry employed lots of child laborers, many as young as 7, 8, and 9 years old. For an alternative to mill work, in 1901, the Olympia Mill School opened its doors in a 2-story mill house at the edge of the Mill Village. The school was a modified one-room school with about 30 students. By 1905, enrollment had increased to 115 students, so that the school occupied 3 double-sized rooms of multi-age students. Education was a privilege for the children of poor mill workers. Thirst for education was so abundant, the increasing enrollment brought about the construction of a 2-story brick school building in 1909 by Richland County. The new schoolhouse, named Olympia School, was built adjacent to the old Mill House School. South Carolina passed a law in 1912 prohibiting children under the age of 12 from working in the mills. And by 1913, Olympia School was the largest public school in Richland County with about 400 students. Due to increased enrollment, several additional rooms were added to the brick school building in 1913. This brought additional classes to the curriculum. Provisions for courses in domestic science, manual training, physical culture, PE, and music were added, creating a more progressive curriculum. By 1915, there were 533 students enrolled, but only 8 students completed the 8th grade, which was the highest one could go. Older students often had to return to the mills, so most were enrolled in the lower grades. The school became so crowded, the old mill schoolhouse was once again put into use when 2 classes were moved there. It somewhat relieved the overcrowded conditions. By 1917, 2 wings had been added to the brick school. A new home for the principal was constructed, new playground equipment installed, and all other necessary improvements had been made. As enrollment soared, the 9th grade of study was added to the curriculum by 1921. In 1923, Mr. Charles Lockwood became superintendent, and he continued his efforts to establish the innovative vocational curriculum, which enabled students to envision lives that did not include working in the mills. Residents in the Mill Village supported tax increases to improve both the school's facilities and the curriculum. By 1925, with a total enrollment of more than 700 students and high school courses, the first class graduated in 1926. The new high school building was located where the main school office is now. A fire partially destroyed the original brick grammar school in 1931. Now, although this was a huge blow, the school did open on schedule in the fall amid additions and repair work, using double sessions so that no instructional time would be lost. Some students attended a shortened schedule in the mornings, and others attended a shortened session in the afternoon. During the ensuing decade, teachers, administrators, and trustees worked tirelessly to establish curricula that would be both interesting and beneficial, as students were being prepared to accept their roles as contributing members of society. Superintendent Lockwood, the school board, and faculty pioneered the vocational curriculum that enabled many students to be trained for vocations that provided choices other than working in the mills. Despite the ongoing economic depression, in 1937, the distinctive brick columns at the school entrance were constructed and the spacious gymnasium completed. It had highly polished floors and roomy wooden bleachers, much like the USC Fieldhouse where college basketball games were played. Construction utilized craftsmen and workers from President Franklin Roosevelt's Works Progress Administration, many of whom were local people. In 1938, a second section of the new high school building was completed, making Olympia High School and its facility one of the best schools in the state. Even though World War II took its toll on the student population from 1941 to 1945, the period just after the war saw Olympia High School enter a golden era of success in both academics and athletics, as Olympia became known for fielding winning teams in football, basketball, and baseball. During this time, the school's importance grew as students set their sights on getting a high school education. The entire community turned out for plays, talent shows, and games. There was a tremendous sense of pride in the school and its athletic teams. Village residents formed a very active Red Devil Booster Club that made sure their athletes had the best in equipment and uniforms. The boosters helped pay for team travel in the Red Devil bus, and they built fine metal bleachers on the home football field. There was always good attendance at those games. In 1950, Olympia High School was brought under the control of Richland County. The next year, the old grammar school was torn down, and the construction of a new elementary wing was completed in 1951. That portion of the school stands today, and it is a reminder to many people of the glory days that continued for years. In 1970, Mill Village population was dwindling. School integration resulted in many neighborhood schools being consolidated. Olympia High's last graduating class was in June. Olympia High School was closed and turned into Olympia Middle School. That school served hundreds of students in the Midlands for a period of about 15 years. Then the school was designated as an alternative school, and it developed a model program in our state that served students with special needs. The aging building was closed in 1999 due to air quality issues, and for the first time in nearly 100 years, no students were on campus. School officials decided to renovate the building with its 17-acre campus in 2001. However, during construction in November of that same year, fire destroyed almost the entire oldest portion of the school building, built in 1925, all but the main entrance with columns. Again, Richland One officials decided to invest in the school and rebuild. During a sad time in March of 2002, all remnants of the high school wing were removed and reconstruction began. The iconic red front doors were recreated and installed on the inside of the gymnasium as a tribute to the beloved school. That installation remains intact today. Later that summer, construction on the new school began. Olympia community members eagerly watched as the rebuilding of Olympia School continued. It opened as the Olympia Learning Center in 2004 with a big celebration in the gymnasium. The construction of Olympia School represented a major commitment by Richland One leaders who collaborated with community members to ensure that the new structure resembled the original school as much as possible. Today, the facility houses several different Richland One School District programs. As an alternative school, Olympia Learning Center is a full-service learning facility offering educational opportunities for students in grades 6 through 12 with a non-traditional, innovative, and personal school setting. The diverse staff members are trained to meet the needs of the students they serve. The facility also houses the district's technology services and the Olympia Professional Development Academy for teacher training, all operating under the umbrella of the name Olympia School Campus. Recent renovations and considerable investment to the former elementary school wing provide evidence that Olympia School will continue as an important part of the mission of Richland School District 1. Although former students of Olympia School have traveled both near and far, many hold special memories of this iconic institution. The grounds and hallways echo with unique friendships and fond memories forged through its century-old history. This collective memory provides a touchstone for the Olympia Mill Village heritage. I'm Dondi Mercer-Plank. Thanks so much for watching.